Rowan football ends their season on a high note while women's soccer earned an NCAA tournament berth.
Basketball season is officially underway. Field hockey battle for a chance at another NJAC title.
That and more next on Profs Huddle. Welcome into Profs Huddle. I'm Aiden Butler.
And I'm Tyler Shamper.
Women's soccer played some important games over the past week. Tyler, let's go ahead and dive into that.
That's right, Aiden. Last week, the women's soccer team took on TCNJ in the NJAC Conference Championship game. The Profs got off to a good start offensively, finding leading scorer Mackenzie Clement in the box for a quick shot that sailed over the crossbar a couple minutes in. Then the Profs nearly strike once again as Liana Sanfelice misses wide right. Rowan's junior goalkeeper, Callista Burke, was on her A-game at the other end, recording one of her 10 saves here to keep the game 0-0. The tension between the two teams was rising, as this was the third straight year that they would face off in the NJAC title. In the 17th minute, the scoreless tie was broken as Emma Pasquarella helped give the Lions an early lead with a cross to Victoria D'Imperio that found its way into the back of the net. The Profs had two good looks in the 75th minute. First, Mackenzie Clement took a shot from inside the edge of the box. However, it was wide again. The Profs fired away a couple more times, but couldn't seem to get it on net. In the final minutes, the Profs pulled everyone upfield in the last-minute attempt to score, but the Lions countered to bury the game. In the end, the Lions walked away with a 2-0 victory. The Profs were held to just 2 shots on goal, but couldn't find either attempt at the back of the net. The team went on to play in the NCAA tournament against Southern Maine, but a penalty kick awarded to the Huskies just before halftime deflated the Profs' spirit. Southern Maine went on to win 2-0.
Rowan field hockey once again was back in the NJAC Championship, taking on TCNJ for the second time in a row. Profs fell to TCNJ in the regular season 3-2, but get the home field advantage against the 22nd ranked Lions anyway. The scoring would open up for the Profs first as Kaylee Wenzel is able to get around 4 defenders and the goalie to put the Profs up by 1 early on. And not even 3 minutes later, a great pass from Sydney Pavlishin gets all the way to the stick of forward Vanessa DiDonato, and she's able to sneak it past the goalie for score number 2 of the game. Profs wasted 0 time because once again they're back with another scoring opportunity as they had numbers. Ball gets batted around just a bit, but Sienna Boscher is able to get it into the net off the deflection to put Rowan up 3-0. And that was really all it took, as time would run out and the team would run onto the field to celebrate with goalie Mariah Giuliano, as she only had 1 shot on goal to contend with in the win. Profs win the NJAC for the 3rd consecutive season, but this would not be their last game of the year. After winning the NJAC, the Profs would host the first round of the NCAA Field Hockey Championship, taking on Hartwick College, and finding the net first in this one would be Sydney Pavlishin once again. That's 2 goals from her in the last 2 games. Next up, it would be Vanessa DiDonato using her speed to get past defenders and just stretch one past the Hartwick goaltender. Julia Cavicchio would get in on the action as she sends a slap shot rocket into goal, making it a 3-0 start in the game. Later in the 3rd quarter, Profs start in the corner, but it doesn't matter because Sienna Boscher is prepared to make it a 4-0 game off of a subtle tap-in. The assist would go to DiDonato. Profs might as well keep it going, and that's exactly what they do, as Pavlishin gets goal number 2 on the day, bumping her numbers up to 3 goals in back-to-back games. Profs win 5-0, but would not make it out of the 2nd round, as they would fall to Tufts University 2-1, putting an end to their season.
Although both teams' seasons came to an end in the NCAA tournament, it was still a phenomenal year for both women's soccer and field hockey once again.
Speaking of seasons, coming to a close, football season just wrapped up last Friday. Here's Matt with more.
Thanks, Aiden. The Profs took the field at Richard Wacker Stadium one final time this season as they honored those who will be moving on from the program on senior night. The Profs offense was on a roll early, especially one of those seniors in running back James Farah, who was able to rumble his way to the William Patterson 10-yard line after a 16-yard gain. Just a few plays later, Nate Myers throws a dot to Jake Shakee for a Profs touchdown to make it 7-0. Pioneers running back Isaac Cherry tries to weave his way into the end zone, but is pushed out of bounds by the Rowan defense. Later in the quarter, Peter Parigi punts downfield where it bounces off the foot of one of the Pioneers, allowing Rowan special teams to recover the fumble. It ended up being a missed opportunity for the Profs as they were unable to take advantage of the great field position. The field goal attempt was no good. After marching down the field in the third quarter, the Pioneers were looking to score as Isaac Cherry was able to punch it in for 6. William Patterson's O-line was no match for the Profs, allowing 4 sacks on the night, this one coming from linebacker Nick Cerulli. On the next drive, Marlon Boston found an opening in the Pioneers' defense as he stiff-armed his way to a massive 37-yard gain. A few plays later, Peter Parigi's field goal attempt was good from 20 yards out, cutting William Patterson's lead 14-10. The Profs were not done yet. A phenomenal catch from Jake Saki got the Profs inside the 5-yard line. Nunez Bakula IV would walk his way into the end zone for a 17-14 lead. The defense came up big in the fourth quarter as Eric Bryant jumped the route for his 5th pick of the year to get the Profs inside the 20. This would put them in prime position to quickly add another touchdown and take a 2-score lead, going up 10 with 1:33 left. That would be enough for the Profs to come away with the 24-14 victory. Freshman running back Nunez Bakula IV found the end zone twice, and the Profs rushed for 174 yards and forced 2 turnovers en route to the win, giving them a 500 record and a 4-2 mark in the NJAC play to finish the 2023 season. Aiden, back to you.
Thanks, Matt. The men's basketball season got underway over the weekend. This would be interim head coach Eric Brennan's first game in the new position as the Profs would get their season rolling, taking on Maryville College. Profs would get the win 94-90 following 26 points from Khalif Mears and 22 from Jazier Knoll. Profs would be able to pluck win number 2 from the College of Worcester, just getting by 78-77. Khalif Mears had 18 points in this one, and get this, 8 steals. Yes, 8 steals for the junior transfer student in his second game as a Prof. Rowan is back in action tonight against Eastern in St. David's, Pennsylvania. They'll look to get off to a 3-0 start this season. Junior guard Josh Wright was the hero this past weekend as he iced the game against Worcester with 2 last-second free throws. Our very own Jack Mailer got to talk to him before the season.
Josh Wright is the leading 6th man off the bench for the Rowan men's basketball team. But this season, he's bringing that same mentality, but hopes for a different outcome.
I feel like we still have that same mentality that Crispin left here to go in there, play with some energy, play with a lot of pace, play with fast pace,
In his sophomore year last season, Josh averaged around 11 points and shot 36% from 3. But this year, he's looking to improve a different part of his game.
Now I take more accountability on the defensive end. He holds us really accountable. Even if we miss an assignment, he's on us. And I think that's what I need, and I think that's what the whole team needs. We underachieved a little bit, but we played hard. No matter what, we did play hard. It's just we just didn't, come together as how we should have been.
The standard for the team last year still hasn't changed now.
That's most definitely the same standard. We're trying to be the first team, since '96. I'm pretty sure that the last time we won. So we need to. With this team, I think we really do have the pieces defensively and offensively.
Josh feels like he plays his best when people are watching.
Stockton and Jersey City, I like getting them upset because they're just like us at Rowan. They're crazy, they're rowdy, We're home. I feed off that energy. I feed off the home crowd's energy. And I think that's what makes me play to a certain degree.
Transitioning from men's basketball, the women's basketball season is underway as well. Let's see how they looked in their first week of action. The team started their NJAC title defense and 2023 campaign against number 6 ranked Scranton last Wednesday night at the SB Gym. The Profs would start off hot as they held a 15-8 lead at the end of the first quarter, shooting 3 of 4 from behind the arc. The big story of this game was Rowan struggled with giving away points off turnovers. They turned it over 27 times in the game, and Scranton capitalized, scoring 25 points off of those mistakes made by the Profs. One bright spot for the home team, however, was senior guard Nicole Mallard, who led Rowan in scoring with 25 points of the night, while shooting 57% from the field and scoring a team-high 3 triples. However, Scranton outscored Rowan 66-52 to spoil Kate Pearson's first game as the Profs' new head coach. The team then traveled up to Smith College in Massachusetts for a pair of games over the weekend, dropping the first 67-62 against Husson, but picking up their first win of the year in Game 2, a 67-54 triumph over Keene State, with Kate Hurley scoring a career-high 27 points.
That'll do it for this episode of Profs Huddle. Fall sports has officially wrapped up, and between the 7 teams that competed this past season, 2 NJAC championships were won, and 4 tickets to NCAA postseason competitions were punched.
The winter sports season is now upon us, and we hope to be telling you about a whole bunch of first-place teams in early December. Until next time, go Profs!